York Minster is one of the largest Gothic cathedrals in Northern Europe. The cathedral is located on the north edge of the Old Town in a beautiful setting. Right next to the church, you'll find Dean's Park, a tranquil patch of greenery ideal for taking a break. Maybe sit on a bench or spread out on the grass and relax for a while. Built on the site of the first Roman settlement, the church owes its origin to an early Saxon king, Edwin, who married a Christian queen and converted to Christianity way back in the year 627. To commemorate his baptism, he built a small wooden church on the site of the Minster. Much later, a series of larger stone churches were constructed, one after the other, including a vast Norman church in the Romanesque style, and then finally, the Minster. Construction on the present building began in about 1230 and was completed by the year 1472, taking nearly 250 years for construction. Regular maintenance and renovations have continued every year ever since. Today, the Minster is an awesome place that requires 1,000 people to keep it functioning. The window on the east end in the Ladies' Chapel contains 100,000 pieces of glass, making it the world's largest stained glass from the Middle Ages. The stained glass is especially important with a total of 128 windows, making up the largest collection of medieval glass in the world, containing a total of about 2 million individual pieces. The window with 5 long sections of glass was built in 1405 and later called the Five Sisters. A heart-shaped window on the west side, built in 1338 and representing the heart of Jesus, is referred to locally as the Heart of Yorkshire. The choir entrance is set in the screen with stone carvings representing the kings of England from William I to Henry VI. The choir is rich with carved wooden seats, the western end occupied by canopied stalls, terminated on the north side by the pulpit and on the south side by the cathedral of the archbishop, or the archbishop's seat. A cathedral is a church with a bishop, whose seat is called the cathedral, which is where the word cathedral comes from, the seat of the bishop. And the Minster is the seat of the Archbishop of York, which is the second most important position in the Church of England. Be sure to walk downstairs to an impressive historic display. During structural restorations carried out in recent decades, remains of the original Roman fort from 2,000 years ago, along with traces of the Norman cathedral, were found under the south transept. This subterranean area reopened to the public in 2013 as part of the new exhibition exploring the history of the building of York Minster. You can sit comfortably and watch a movie and play with some of the interactive digital displays. Very high tech. The massive church was created because religion was the dominant factor in the social and political life of medieval England. Bishops vied with each other in making their cathedrals more and more beautiful. Kings used their influence to further building operations. Nobles gave materials and money. Funds were augmented by granting of indulgences, penances, and by offerings and bequests. The result of this passion was creation of one of the world's great buildings. The Minster impresses with its massive size. Spaciousness is the leading interior feature, with the widest nave in all British Gothic churches, giving an effect to the whole composition of great stability and permanence. Built during 3 centuries in various styles that clearly chart the development of Gothic architecture from the early English through to the Perpendicular period, and yet it gives an impression of a great unity of overall design. It's called Minster because that's a label attributed to churches that were established in the early Anglo-Saxon period as missionary teaching churches, and it serves now as an honorific title. While the church is built of heavy gray stone, the ceiling is still made of wood, painted to look like stone. The English Reformation under Henry VIII led to the looting of all English churches, including much of the cathedral's treasures and the loss of much of the church properties. Under Elizabeth I, there was a further effort to remove all traces of Catholicism from the cathedral. There's a lot of destruction of tombs and windows and altars. During the Civil War of 1644, York was besieged and fell to the forces of Cromwell, but protests prevented any further damage to the church. Following the easing of religious tensions in the early 18th century, some work was done to restore the cathedral. From 1730 on, the whole floor of the Minster was relaid in patterned marble, and from 1802 there was a major restoration. 4 different fires devastated the building over the centuries, requiring extensive repairs. Architecture and church enthusiasts would enjoy a visit to some other old York churches, which are acknowledged as England's finest medieval collection, with 19 original buildings still standing. One of the loveliest examples is Holy Trinity Church in Goodrem Gate, set in a leafy courtyard with its original box pews and medieval glass intact. We had a chance to talk with the information lady at the church who explained some of the history.
Box pews is because after the Reformation, when the monasteries were dissolved, the emphasis became on the spoken word and on the family. So these are family pews, and they would have been rented out by the year, which was a brilliant idea because by next year you might have a bigger family or a smaller family. This was quite a poor parish, so in fact about 25% of the boxes were free. It was actually being built at the same time as the cathedral. At the Minster, but because that was built, it took such a long time to build, about 250 years, this was already a practicing parish then. If you look over to that side, that is called a Chantry Chapel. It's St James's Chapel, and the Lord and Lady in the area, they would have had that built, and they would have had their own priest to pray for their souls and the souls of their ancestors.
We'll be presenting more movies about York. We'll have a walking tour with a local guide, show you some of the fine museums, as well as places to eat. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel. As we leave you with some more accordion street music by Ben Crossway, why don't you subscribe to our channel so you can be informed about our regular uploads. And take a look at our website for listings of our 1,200 travel movies.